What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it looks like we have a little bit more insight today on why Marvel Studios is not attending San Diego Comic-Con of this year. They are not doing their Hall H panel, if you have not heard. However, we'll talk in this video how I believe that they might be planning their own special event. And in this event, they should be giving us the details that they were going to give us at San Diego Comic-Con. However, it sounds like Marvel Studios might not have all of the details locked down themselves for what they are trying to do right now. And there are many things that affect what they are doing right now and their planning process, and we'll break that down. But right now, as it stands, it looks like Marvel Studios is going to do another update for their Phase 5 and Phase 6 schedule relatively soon. So we could be looking at even more changes. This could be both good and bad, but we'll talk about what Marvel Studios has planned as far as their slate announcements are concerned in the upcoming near future. And if you want to stay up to date on the MCU, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. We're also doing a giveaway. If you subscribe and comment, you're entered for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month, only a few days left. Now, although Marvel Studios is not attending San Diego Comic-Con's Hall H this year, you should know that they have been attending other cons. And Kevin Feige has recently been attending events, and they have actually shown footage for some Phase 5 and 6 projects like Deadpool 3 and Captain America Brave New World. So they are still actively promoting upcoming projects, even if they don't know the exact release dates when these projects are actually going to be coming out, both for movies and Disney Plus shows. And that's the first thing we need to talk about before we dive into the possible Marvel event that they might have. And this could be pretty much the main reason they are deciding to skip San Diego Comic-Con this year. There are many reasons like the SAG strike, the writer strike, but what it really comes down to is they don't exactly have the full plan for Phase 5 and Phase 6 yet. And this is also caused by multiple factors. One could be Jonathan Majors. This is kind of a big one. Marvel Studios is waiting for the outcome of the Jonathan Majors trial, where he was accused of allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend. Now, if you haven't caught the latest video I did updating you on everything that his team has presented to the court, they have presented a lot of evidence that does point to him being innocent, and this does include a lot of footage, and it does include a lot of eyewitnesses that are willing to testify on Jonathan Majors' behalf. But regardless, it does put Marvel Studios in a very sticky situation. But hopefully, what Marvel Studios and Disney are doing right now is waiting for the actual court trial to finish. And hopefully they're waiting to make their decision until then. That way, if he is found innocent, he will continue on as Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, if the opposite is true, if he is found guilty, they will more than likely replace him. And since the next Avengers movie, the Kang Dynasty, is clearly all about Kang, and since Avengers Secret Wars is all about Kang as well, Kang is most likely going to show up in random projects throughout Phase 5 and Phase 6. So that makes it kind of hard for Marvel to proceed right now with certain projects where Kang is supposed to show up, since they can't really have Jonathan Majors play Kang currently until the trial is determined. This is going to be a pretty big hang-up for Marvel Studios right now. This pretty much makes it to where some projects they actually can't proceed with fully, that is, because obviously Kang will only be in a few scenes here and there. But still, while Marvel Studios waits for that, it does kind of give them a little bit of a delay for those certain projects. Now, the second reason we know that they have delayed things in the past and might possibly delay some more things in the future is because they are trying to make the projects better in quality. We have talked about this a lot in the channel. Disney CEO Bob Iger and Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige have both commented that they are going to be focusing more on quality and less quantity for Disney Plus shows. And Kevin Feige has specified that this probably means both of these things. One, producing less Disney Plus shows, and two, spacing them further apart. So instead of having 5 to 6 Disney Plus projects with special presentations and series a year, they are probably only going to have between 3 or 4, and they're going to be spaced out. And probably instead of having 4 movies a year, they're going to have 3. Now, this means we will have less content per year, but if it makes the content better, then it's a win for us Marvel fans. And at the same time, a lot of people have complained that the quality really hasn't been there for Marvel Studios lately, so this should be a win-win. And then of course we have the writer strikes and the SAG strikes. This of course does affect Marvel Studios if the writers can't write and actors can't act or promote their movies. Pre-production and production for movies and shows does get put on hold. And according to insider Alex P from the Cosmic Circus, Marvel Studios is planning on doing another slate update relatively soon. So hopefully we won't be in the unknown for that much longer. Now, as far as how they'll do their slate update, and since they are missing San Diego Comic-Con's Hall H, which is always the biggest Marvel event of the year, I'm hoping that they take it into their own hands once they have some things figured out and do their own little special event. This will be virtual and this will be very similar to what they did back in 2020 when San Diego Comic-Con was canceled. Now, they originally did this big event for Disney in general, and they did this at Disney's Investor Day. But Marvel Studios had a whole 20-minute panel where Kevin Feige came out himself and himself only and talked about the future of Phase 4 and a little bit about Phase 5 as well. And they did a ton of reveals. Kevin Feige did announcements like announcing that Jonathan Majors was going to be playing Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. They also announced cast members for Loki, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and many of the other projects as well. They also announced the director for the Fantastic Four, which was always pretty much going to be coming out in Phase 6. Now, the director has changed recently, but the fact is, this event that happened in 2020, way before Phase 5 or Phase 6, was talking about Phase 5 and Phase 6. So if we do have another event that is going to be like this, Marvel Studios can talk about Phase 5 and Phase 6 and basically give us a roadmap of where they want to go and an update on where they are right now. The only problem is Marvel Studios has to kind of figure that out first. Yesterday, again, insider Alex P from the Cosmic Circus tweeted this out. There isn't even a concrete path to Phase 6, let alone a two-part Secret Wars. Basically stating the path to Phase 6 is not concrete yet, and we've heard the rumors that Marvel Studios is considering making Secret Wars into a two-part event. Well, that isn't concrete yet. Marvel Studios is still determining what they are going to do. And again, we've talked about why they haven't exactly decided yet. I think Kang is a pretty big part. He is obviously the main villain of the entire saga. So literally, they are just waiting to see what happens with the trial of Jonathan Majors. Now, this begins in August, and whenever it's done, I believe that they're going to figure out what they're doing, get their roadmap complete, and then tell us, the fans, because they know we're waiting. They know we're disappointed that they are skipping San Diego Comic-Con, and they know we want an update. And good old Kevin Feige likes to deliver to the fans. And since Alex P is stating that we are going to be getting a slate update, I'm hoping since they missed San Diego Comic-Con, they will do some type of a fan event. Now, Disney's Investors Day has already passed this year, so Marvel Studios could take it upon themselves to do something like DC has done over the years. DC has done DC Fandom, and I'm hoping that Marvel Studios will kind of take a play from DC and give us our own special Marvel Studios event. One where they have their own virtual panel and Kevin Feige comes out and talks about the upcoming projects, talks about the upcoming cast members for the projects, and gives us an update on what exactly to expect as far as the schedule is concerned and what projects are going to be coming out and which actors are going to be playing which roles. Now, Marvel Studios did recently give us an update on the release dates for movies and shows, and this was through Variety. They just used an outlet to do this. However, I don't believe they'll do this in the future simply because they are skipping San Diego Comic-Con, and they're not the only studio doing this. We just heard that Sony is going to be skipping out as well. So unfortunately, no Spider-Man 4 updates of any kind at San Diego Comic-Con. But fingers crossed, Marvel Studios does do some type of event. They have done it in the past, so it is definitely in their wheelhouse to do it. Plus, not to mention, the fans are what drive everything. And Kevin Feige knows this, and Kevin Feige does think of the fans a lot. So, fingers crossed, we do get some type of event in the near future. But let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. And if Marvel Studios decides to do another one of these events that they did a few years ago, what would you like out of it? Let us know down below. You can also check us out on Patreon now. We do have a website and we do have a Discord server. We'll link all of those in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.